Welcome to Relationship Marketing Happiness Speaks. Today, I have a guest speaker that you are going to absolutely adore. Lafleur, as you can see right here, next to me, she is going to be talking to us about how she has embraced SendOutCards for her business and her personal life. And we'll get into that at about the halfway mark. First, I want to give you a little bit of a story about SendOutCards and how it all came to be. I'm Carol Ward, and I have been with SendOutCards for 5.5 years, and I just am so excited for you to learn more about it because I think it is a tool that you are just going to absolutely adore for your personal life as well as for your business. So let me jump right into that, because SendOutCards is creating a positive impact around the world, and we want other people to benefit from that. And the only way to do that is by spreading the word and showing people that this can really make a difference in so many people's lives. SendOutCards has been around for 14 years, and we want you to be a part of that without changing anything that you currently do. It's just going to simplify things for you. So let me give you the background about us. Cody Bateman founded SendOutCards back in 2003. He's located in Salt Lake City, Utah, where our international headquarters are. And we're a member of the DSA, which is the Direct Sellers Association. It is an amazing organization that governs all network marketing businesses. So it's something that we try to stay cutting edge and way ahead of the curve on, so that we are always in complete compliance. And we really believe that this business was created to help so many people because Cody had a dream. He believed that he could take the brick and mortar environment of greeting cards and gifts and make it a click and order environment, just like Amazon did for books, Netflix did for movies, and iTunes did for music. Because if you look at these $3 billion companies, each one of them have done their part to collapse the inefficiencies in today's marketplace, and they have made our lives easier. So just like that, Cody wanted to do the same thing. Do you realize that Amazon is probably the #1 go-to for so many people on being able to purchase anything? And Netflix, well, if you haven't heard of binge watching, you probably are good then, because binge watching has come about because Netflix has made it so easy for us to watch our favorite TV shows or movies, series, and we can sit there for a whole weekend and just watch away. And iTunes, well, I'm not sure about you, but when's the last time I saw a music store? I couldn't tell you. They have just totally changed the marketplace and converted it to such a digital world. And just like that, we've done the same thing with greeting cards. Whether you're in your home, your office, or anywhere, all you have to do is push that send button, and before you know it, the magic happens, because we're going to take care of printing it, stuffing it, stamping it, and yes, even getting it in the mailbox for you. And that is what had me sold on this business 5.5 years ago, because that simplified my life to such a degree I can't even tell you. SendOutCards is the #1 user of the first class stamp. That's a pretty cool fact. And they're also a part of what we're being called now is a digital revolution in this world. I've already told you about some of the companies that have digitized everything. Well, do you realize that the largest taxi company owns no taxis? And the largest telecom company owns no lines? Well, the largest media owner doesn't create the content. You and I do every single day. The largest movie house has no cinemas. The largest software vendors, they don't create all the apps, because there are thousands of people out there that can do it for them. And the soon-to-be largest greeting card and gifting company has no stores. Isn't that pretty cool? I absolutely adore this business. Like I said, do you realize that SendOutCards is the best relationship building program in the world? We have sent over 140 million greeting cards and over 7 million gifts over the past 13 years. This company is just changing the way that we do relationship building, and it is really working. The cards that we make can be completely customized from our computers, or the newest magic is the smartphone that we can have an app on, whether you have an iOS operating system or you have an Android. We can take care of both. We have apps for both. And talk about simplifying. How cool is it to just, at the whim that you have, because you know your phone is always in your hand, all you're going to do is create the card and push send. You're done. We take over. And that's pretty nice to have that off your plate that quickly. And that instant gratification is not just about greeting cards. We live in a world where that's expected at this point. We do everything from our smartphones, so why not do business too? So, the business side of life. Well, Cody Bateman took a look at all of the cards that were being sent out and the reasons why those cards are being sent out. And they came up with 3 main reasons why people were sending cards out to their business associates or prospects. And they all fit into these 3 categories. Celebrating new possibilities. Thank you very much. And it was so great to meet you. These 3 different cards we've created in both pearl white and satin black. And we've called it your first impressions kit because these cards have simplified sending, made it professional, quick, and incredibly beautiful. So I'm going to run you through really quickly how that gets done. As we said, that first impression kit is simple. We've loaded it into our campaigns. So when you open up the app and it looks like this, click on campaigns. First impressions, white, new possibilities is the one I'm going to demonstrate to you right now. So I'm going to click on that, and this is what pops into my phone. Pretty cute. That's the front of the card. And if you feel this paper stock, it is so nice. I absolutely love this pearl finish. Swipe to the left, and the inside left of the card appears, and here's where you can really make a huge impression. Take a picture of whoever you're with, or there's something really interesting about their company or your visit, pop it right in there, and we take care of formatting it for you. It is designed to work with your phone, and it is so simple. Swipe again, and we've given you some words. If you want to use those for your message to whoever it is that you're sending this to, great. If not, just personalize it and make it your own message. And then swipe one more time, and the back of the card is where you have your brand manager. And you can customize this as well to match who you are and to be another display of what you're about and what your personal brand is. So we've created this beautiful card. We just have to send it somewhere. Kind of important. So let's send it to LJ. And once we click on that, it tells us what the cost is. This particular card is 5 points, and its expense says 47 cents, but that was before the postage rate went up. So anyways, I'm going to submit that, and look what shows up in LJ's mailbox. Holy crap. That's pretty amazing how beautiful that is, what a presentation it is. And I don't know about you, but not only would I say this is a pretty good first impression, I believe it will make a very wonderful lasting impression as well. So you're asking at this point, maybe, how much does that really cost? You're talking about points and stuff. I don't know what you're talking about. Well, we have a variety of ways that you can buy those points. So that particular card cost about $1.95 plus your postage. And that would be if you bought your points on a preferred monthly package. This preferred monthly package is going to allow you enough points to send either 33 cards or 7 cards with our magical brownies. And once you have one of those brownies, you understand the magic in them. You can buy more points at any time during the month for that same low price. And if you by chance don't use them, they do roll over and there is no commitment period. So you can use this as you need it. And with that, we have 2 other packages that you can buy, not quite as economical, but still it's below the cost of what you would be paying at Hallmark or some other place for these cards. Because we have a pay-as-you-go that the more points you buy, the less you pay. And then we do have a starter package that we call a retail package that gives you 20 points a month. So just think about what works for you and make that selection. So that is the points. Now, we talked about that first impressions kit, and I think that once you feel it, see it, touch it, you're going to want to have that. So we've included it in both the marketing bundle and the business bundle. That alone has a $249 value if you bought it by itself. So having it bundled in with our other tools is a pretty slick deal. Now, the business bundle has almost or over $1,200 value of tools all rolled in for $795. We can go over all of those at another time. And as you can see, we have a lot of tools in there. I just want to point out one thing, and that is that it comes with a multi-user account. So if you're a business that has many people that will be using this and you need them to have their individual accounts but a little control over it, that's the one for you. And then your marketing bundle, that's the sweet spot for smaller companies where they are probably only going to have one user, but it still has all the tools that we have. And it, again, is a great value. It's $395 with a value of $754. So that's a pretty sweet value as well. And if that's not going to fit into your budget, we do have one other option. That's your personal bundle. And that's just a small savings. It has some of the tools, and then you can upgrade later. So you're going to want to talk to whoever it is that sent you here and let them work with you on what package works best for you. And just one other fact I wanted to tell you is that these are one-time costs. These have some annual renewal fees, but it's not nearly as much as the individual bundles. And we can talk to you about that as well later. So as you're using this and talking to people about it and they're getting the excitement of receiving one of these cards and maybe some brownies, you might be asked to, how can I do that too? And that's why you would become a distributor, because you would want to be able to share this gift with other people and make a little bit of money and help them make some money. So we've created this distributor level, for lack of better terms. For just $50 more, you can become a distributor of SendOutCards, and you can start earning commissions and bonuses. And if you add that $50 to one of the marketing bundles or the business bundle, well, guess what? We also give you an additional package of campaigns for your new customers and your new distributors. So that is really, really sweet. This does have a $59 annual renewal fee just to keep you active and keep you earning all those bonuses. So those bonuses, let's talk about those. We have 2 ways. Well, first we're going to talk about the campaigns. So the 2 different campaigns that we've included if you buy the marketing bundle or the business bundle with that would be one for customers. And it's a 4-touch campaign, meaning there's 4 different cards that go out over about a 2-week period, giving you different tips and tricks on how to use the system better for your advantage. And we also have a similar campaign for new distributors so that they too get a lot of tips on how to be able to market their business better and to be able to use the product so that they are truly a product of the product. So before I tell you exactly what the bonus structure is, I want to explain to you that people who are watching this fall into 4 different categories. You're 1 if you're a customer, you're a 2 if you want to be a referral partner or have a self-funding marketing plan, because that's really cool too. You're a 3 if you want to earn some money part-time. Maybe you have one of those nagging bills that you just want to make sure is paid every month through another revenue stream. This is perfect for that. Or you might be someone who's looking to replace that current income, and that would be your number 4. So think about that while I go through the next 2 slides, and we'll come back around it and ask you one more time which type you might be. So with that, here's the 3 bundles that we just talked about. And there is a one-time bonus associated with each of these bundles. I'm going to basically talk about the marketing bundle right now. You can earn up to $335 for selling a marketing bundle to someone as the direct sponsor of that. And if someone in your organization sells that, you can earn up to $195, depending on where everything falls within that. So that is really sweet money. And that, again, is your one-time bonus because this is a one-time purchase. And if you double that, that would be your business bundle and have that for your personal bundle. So like I said, there are 2 ways to earn an income in SendOutCards. This is just the first. The second way is what we call a residual income. A residual income is one that comes in month after month after month because people are using this product and they are continuing to buy their points every month. So as the direct sponsor of a new customer, you would get 20% of everything that they purchase every month. And that alone is a pretty nice percentage for people to be able to continue using this great product. But as they're using it, you're also going to be seeing a lot of people who are going to ask, how can I do that? So you are going to start adding people to your organization. And let's say you add 3 people at your first level, and each one of those people add 3, and so on. That organization gets really big really fast. So if you took all of those levels and added them together, perfect progression, it's over 3,200 people when you get to that point. And we pay commissions to an infinite level. As you can see here, we have illustrated a 2% commission on levels 1 through 6, and then it would be a 5% on levels 7 and below. And that's only as a distributor. That's not even the other levels of the company. So that increases as your team increases and your level within the company increases. So how big is your residual income going to be? Well, that depends. How big is your team going to be? Like I said, I'm coming right back to this. And after listening to the product and the compensation plan, think about where you fall into these 4 types. Are you a customer, a referral partner, a money earner, a part-time money earner, or are you looking to replace that full-time income? Think about that and give your number back to whoever it was that sent you here. And just let them know so that they can get you started on that journey today, because SendOutCards is poised for massive growth. We have international expansion that is planned years out, and we just keep growing. Do you realize that millions of people are going to experience SendOutCards and the positive messages that it sends over the next few years? It just continues to grow, and we will be a worldwide household name. So what do you say? Join us today? And with that, that wraps up the business presentation of this. Now I want to bring on my featured guest speaker, who has been very patiently sitting here with me. And Anne, drum roll. So this is Anne Lafleur, and Anne is an incredible person that I met just a few short months ago. And I already just adore her because she has embraced this, and it is such a part of who she was already. So this has only enhanced her ability to be able to reach out to people. Anne is a woman who is all about happiness and relationships. She is a consultant and facilitator who specializes in simple, practical ways to build trust and connections within organizations, families, and communities. She teaches workshops on listening and emotions. She hosts card writing parties, and I've been to one, and it was great. She has so many fun ideas. It's really good. And she does a weekly blog. Anne is the founder of The Gift of Happiness. And with that, I would love to present to you and hand over the microphone remotely to my good friend and amazing woman, Anne Lafleur. It's all yours, Anne.
Wow. Thank you, Carol. So fun. And I just to reiterate some of that, SendOutCards has been so wonderful for me. So I've been in this sort of reaching out to people through card writing for many, many years before I even had heard of SendOutCards. And when I learned there was this app that would let you do that quicker and easier, and in a lot of cases more cheaply than people otherwise would, I was like, oh my gosh, this is perfect. And it just fits right in underneath the umbrella of what I was already doing. And what I do is I teach happiness. I teach how do you connect with people in a way that makes you feel good and makes them feel good. And that's really the essence of what SendOutCards is. So I've been having so much fun over the last few months playing with what I can do with it and whose day might I brighten today, and all the different creative types of cards you can send in different circumstances to different people. So it's so much fun. And it is, yes, it's great for growing businesses and building trust in those customer relationships, but just as a personal practice of fulfillment and, feeling good about your day at the end of the day. It takes 2 minutes and you've made a difference. It's so fun. You can't pay to have that experience. And the cards cost, which is not very much.
Absolutely. And with that, I'm going to jump right into some of the cards that you've created, because I think that they're just so cool.
Yeah, they've been super fun. So this was a card that I sent to the coach of my daughter's softball team at the end of last year. They had a winning season. They took home the sort of league championship trophy at the end of the year. And one of the parents of one of the kids on the team, he came to a lot of the games, especially the playoff games, with his big camera. And he was taking all these amazing action shots and shared them with us. And I said, aha, I can create one of those really awesome cards. So that's what this was. And it was just a note to the coach saying, thank you for all the love and the time and the encouragement that you put into this team, and congratulations. And he wrote back just a really, really sweet thank you. I think it's even on there it is. Absolutely one of the most thoughtful things I've ever received. And even before I got that email from him, I heard from his wife, who's like, oh my gosh, Anne, that card, it almost made him cry.
Oh,
so he's like, he's a tough guy, but he's really, it made a difference. So that felt really good to send.
Absolutely.
This one was one, and this is a tip I learned from you, Carol, is that, as you're going through your social media feeds, and that people are sharing all sorts of things about their lives, ups and downs, and you can congratulate them for things, but sometimes you send condolences for things. And this was a neighbor and also the mom of one of my daughter's classmates who lost her cat. And so like, oh, that's too bad. So I learned from her Facebook feed that the cat's name was Diamond, and this is what it looked like, several years ago. And on top of that, I was walking my kid to school one day, and I looked up, and here was a street sign, like right in our town, that says Diamond Street. So I took a picture of that, and I made her a card. Okay. And what was really cool about this one was not only did, she was touched and said so, but actually it led to, there was sort of a kerfuffle among some friends and classmates and stuff that she reached out and told me about and shared and sort of asked my opinion on. She never would have done that if this card had not been there. So it's relationship building in ways that you can't even predict.
Yeah, that's just such a perfect story of why we do this.
Yeah. Oh, this one was a fun one.
I love this.
So we've had the same people cleaning our house for a bunch of years, and house cleaners pick up a lot of things about you when they're in your space. And one of the things that Rivaldo picked up about my son is that he likes collecting rocks, because he'll find, big piles and collections of rocks all over the place. And so he's from Brazil, and he came across these rocks from Brazil. And one day he just, out of the blue, brought them to us and said, "Hey, this is for your son." Totally sweet. Totally didn't have to do that. So this was the thank you card to him, with a picture of my son holding the rocks and just saying just how perfect it was. And it's these kinds of thank yous. Again, it's quicker and easier than going to the store and buying a thank you card. And it's personal in a way that, like, we hardly ever get. And he was totally thrilled to have this in the mail in between cleanings, didn't expect it.
That's so cute. I love that one.
So one of the things I love about card writing and send out cards in general is being able to introduce it to other people. And I say, "Oh, I've got this app. It's so cool. Hey, is there somebody you'd like to send a card to?" So I was on a walk with my friend and her dog, Rufus, featured here. And we were talking. I was saying, "Oh, I found this new app. It's really cool. Is there anybody you'd like to send a card to?" She's like, "Well," she had just left her job and had gotten a going away party and a bunch of money from her boss and some other people. And she's like, "Well, I could send a thank you card for that." And I guess upon receiving the money, she had said, "Oh, this will go to buy expensive dog food for my very sensitive and finicky animal." And Rufus, if you're listening, I didn't mean to call you sensitive or finicky. That was not great. But she said, "Oh, you know what? We can send him a thank you note." And we're like, "Oh, do you have any photos on your phone?" And she said, "Well, no, but we could take a photo right now of the dog that we were walking with." So we snapped a photo of Rufus, put it on the card, wrote the card from Rufus to the boss, and just had a blast doing that. And it's one thing to send a card yourself, and it's another thing to help somebody else do it. And so it's like the ripple effect of that is just something that, like, all of Gift of Happiness is based on that. So it's so fun to be able to do it with this tool.
Oh, I love it. I love it.
Okay, so this is something, so I've been going to a lot of local networking breakfasts lately, breakfasts and lunches and coffees with people, and we'll gather in these small groups and just hear about what each other does. And I've started having the waiters or waitresses take photos of the group together. And then I'll send a card out to each of the people who was there, which is so convenient because I have their business cards and I have their addresses anyway. And I can just send a note that says, "Hey, it was nice to meet you." And it serves such a great purpose. One, just to remember what a nice thing it was to get together. Two, sort of encouraging them or supporting them or thanking them for the kind of work that they're doing, what they brought to the group. And then, of course, like it's an example of, and this is part of what I do, so you can remember me. I like sending cards to people and making them smile. So, and I hope it did that for you or whatever. So and this is nice. SendOutCards is great because I can create this card one time and send it to 5 people pretty efficiently, even if I'm customizing the language for each person. It's still pretty fast.
Yeah, it's so cool.
Oh, this one was nice. This is another, sort of like the softball one. Is my son went to a week-long camp, an outdoor camp run by a couple friends of mine, and they took a lot of great photos. Again, it's almost like when I have a photo, who can I send a card to with this photo? It's great. So I did one of they have these tri-fold 3-panel cards. And they had hundreds of photos from this week, but I picked some of the best ones. I tried to pick at least one photo of each kid, and I did this whole collage and just gave them it's like a yearbook or a summer camp book, like this keepsake of their week together, and sent one to each of the camp counselors for the week. And did you write the testimonial in there, Carol?
I did.
There it is. Brought tears to my eyes, which is nice. I don't really like making people cry, but actually sometimes I do because it means they've been touched in a way that they don't always feel. So
exactly.
So yeah, I counted that as the win.
Happy tears.
Totally. This one is so fun. Okay, so I don't think, can you read it? It says that, so these are two teddy bears made out of hay bales, and they're holding a sign that says, "Love changes everything." And I love this card because where it came from is a friend of mine who lives many towns away. She took a photo of this. She says, and she posted it to Facebook. She says, "I pass this farm every day and it makes me smile. And I wish the owners of this farm knew just how much of a difference it made to have that little dose of, happiness and love in my day every day." Those aren't exactly her words. Those are my words. But so she posted it to Facebook and I saw it and it made me smile. And then I said, "Oh my gosh, it's a photo. I could put it on a postcard." So I asked her what the farm was and looked up their address, and I made them a postcard with the picture that my friend had taken and posted to Facebook. And the back said something like, "Thank you so much for this display. I've never even seen it in person, but you're having, an impact well beyond what you probably even know." So that I love sending cards of appreciation, like catching people who are just doing what they do, but really having an impact around them. It feels good to notice it, and it really feels good to remind them, and maybe even help them see that the impact of what they're doing is much broader than they thought.
Absolutely. Oh, you're so right. I mean, that's exactly what it's about.
Oh, yeah. So sometimes you don't have a picture of the actual. I've never met the people I sent this card to, but Carol, can I put in a plug for my little message?
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Right. So the thing that I did with card writing before I even found SendOutCards is I had these little business, I can't even see if you can see this, but anyway, I have all these little business card size messages, and they say things like, "You're awesome," or "You're not alone," or "What you do matters," or things like "You are loved." And it's really essentially all these different personal messages that you can give to people in different circumstances. And I had a high school nearby order 2,000 of my cards with in the school's colors and with a little bit of school branding. And the idea is that they would use them, they would give them to students and staff and sort of spread these messages all throughout their school, because it really matters. We're with each other a lot. We want our relationships to work. So they placed this great big order, and I sent them a thank you card and some brownies and just said, "You're so busy. Thank you so much for prioritizing the social and emotional well-being of your community." And instead of a photo of them, because I have no idea what they look like, I love this because that hand is a standard template that comes with SendOutCards. So I went to the templates. I said, this is a good one. And then I can take little screenshots of each of I can swap out any one of my messages and put it right on the front of the card.
That's awesome.
Which great substitute. So it makes it personal from me. It's sort of a reminder of how they're connected to me in the first place.
In 5 years, I've never used that card, but I always love it. So it's so cool to be able to do that.
Yeah, it's very, very cool. And if you want some screenshots of these little things, I'm happy to hook you up.
I might take you up on that.
It's when you don't have a photo, it's customized just a teeny tiny bit.
Absolutely. No, that's perfect. That's excellent.
Yeah, so that's how I use that, and great.
Yeah, and I mean, every point that you made was just amazing. So I mean, questions, I don't have a lot of them for you. But that's mainly because we've hit on so many different things. One thing I did want to ask is, we had talked about another card that you had sent that we didn't put up. And that was your entryway that someone drove forever to come help you organize.
Yes. Yeah, a friend of mine came down for a day. I talked to her on the phone a lot, but don't see her a whole lot because she lives over an hour away. But I was complaining one day about how my house is so disorganized and I hate doing this and I have no skills. She said, "Ann, I'm really good at this. I'll come down and help you out." I said, "Really?" So she drove all the way down and spent a whole day with me organizing this entryway space. both, so the end result was it's clean and beautiful. And then she had some ideas for, put a plant there and, put this, swap out that picture with this one and like that. And she left before all of her ideas had been implemented. And I wanted her to see the finished product that I went to Home Depot and I got the plant and did all this stuff. And so I took a picture of the entryway and the sort of in its after state and sent her a card with that picture and just a thank you for coming down and all of her help and guidance and friendship. And
that's cool. And there's so many times where you should do a before and after picture of so many different things.
Yes.
Yeah, that just speaks volumes sometimes when you send a card like that, because people don't always remember what the before was, and to be able to appreciate the after is really, really sweet.
And it makes me think, especially for business people, it could be sort of anytime you're taking a physical thing and turning it one way to another. So any kind of professional organizer, or, you're fixing cars, or you're staging houses, or you're doing remodeling or landscaping. Such a cool opportunity to take your before, take your after. It's like a reinforced testimonial for the work that you do, and also just a way to celebrate with your customers about the value of what you just provided and what they've received. It's such a great way to just emphasize the value of what you already do.
Yeah. So, Anne, just one other thing I want to touch on before we wrap up, because we're a little over, but that's okay. Is you talked about the impact beyond, and how do you see that this has changed the way that you do the business that you were doing prior to SendOutCards?
Well, in some ways it hasn't, because the energy of it is all the same. The way that it changed it is I'm able to do more, and I'm able to get more creative. And more personalized. And so it takes what I was already doing and amplifies it, which is what I wanted.
Right. And I think one other thing is that it probably gives you a little bit better of an instant turnaround, where I know with the cards that you were showing us, that it took you a long time to design those and then find a printer for them and all of that, where now you can share things so much quicker.
Yeah. Well, I still use them both, to be honest.
Oh, absolutely. I use the ones that you sent me. I think that they're awesome.
But it's just like I said, it's like, here's the umbrella of the work that I do. Here's my gift of happiness message cards. Here's SendOutCards, and they just completely complement each other in the nicest.
That's fabulous. It has been such a joy, as always, talking to you and having you here today. I can't thank you enough for coming on and sharing your stories with us, because I think that everyone has so many unique stories that I just want everybody to hear them. It can change a person's life just by getting that one special card. It can change their day. It can change their mood. And I think that you've done a wonderful job of illustrating that for us once again today. So with that, I just want to wrap up and thank you. And if you want more information, Anne's company and website were on the previous slide. My information is right here. So please feel free to reach out to either of us for questions, comments, and I hope you have a great day. Thanks, Anne.
Thank you.